Because, sorry guys, my dad came up because I had to go and finish my laundry. So I did that, got all put away. So you can see my bed is all clean and ready to go to sleepy time in. Anyway, because I'm still not satisfied with my phone call, I am going to call back, and because I wasn't finished explaining, but I had to go and get my laundry done, because that's important, right? Because that's, again, another part of health. That's another part of your health. Everybody's health is to get their laundry done and prioritize themselves, and, you know. So, I'm gonna call him back. I don't know if he's gonna pick up. I don't know. I think I'm calling the place where he works. I can imagine he's done work, but he'll get it tomorrow. Trust me. And I hope he takes my messages seriously, because this is serious when I'm about to tell him. And yeah. I think I remember his phone number. Yeah. Nine 13 99 2. I think it's 4211. Yeah.
Stay on the line while your call is completed. Long distance charges may apply.
What the heck? Maybe that isn't mine. Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I don't know. Shut up. I have to turn my whole phone off in order to hang it up. Okay, so I just have to check to see what his phone number is. Because I think I got it wrong. I think that was somebody else's number. Again, that person, if I called the wrong number, I am very, very, very sorry to whoever I phoned. Sorry. Miss you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. You know, I apologize to whoever I called. Yep. Heck. Justin Trudeau's phone number? Yeah, I kind of thought so. You know? You know? So 613 and a hyphen, and then 992 hyphen 4211. maybe that's what I put. I put 9:13 instead of 6:13.
You have reached the voicemail of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister welcomes the views of Canadians on the issue.
Sorry, guys.
Unfortunately, it is not possible to put you in contact with an official at this
Of course, because he's off.
You may wish to leave
He's not in a apartment anymore.
that we will give it our utmost attention.
He's at his fancy home with his fancy cars, and probably talks about what he's gonna do for Canada, but nothing ever gets done. Go figure. Fuck that out. Hello. It's me again. So, this is a continued conversation because I had to do something. I was busy, so my dad came up and got me. Anyways, I was gonna let you know that, again, how disgusted I am that you might have had something to do with ODSP not covering medication. Because I don't believe that ODSP or Doug Ford even had the ability to even say that. Even consider cutting down or stopping covering it. I don't think that's in their area. I believe it all comes back to the person who runs a country, because they're supposed to be the ones who make the agreements, and their premier and everybody else has to follow with whoever's running the country. Anyways, yeah. So, you have no idea how much damage you're causing to people in the future. But I'm not happy. I'm not happy whatsoever. Because it's not only me, but other people have medication too. And because I have autism and a very rare chromosome disorder. And, you know, if you cut certain medications and you say that certain medications are not covered, I don't know what else you would do. I don't know what kind of damage you would do. Probably antipsychotics are not going to be covered, and that's not good. You know, that will definitely risk the crime rate, because there's a lot of people that have schizophrenia and other type of disorders out there, and even people with physical disorders, like people with arthritis and fibromyalgia. Yeah. And the fact that you say that you are gonna do something, and nothing gets done. It's like, seriously? Are you kidding me? You know? I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who called into you today. Because this is serious, what I'm about to tell you about myself. And in the hopes other people who are afraid to speak up will have the courage to as well. Okay? Because, like I said, I have low leptin. I believe I have low leptin. And I'm not the only one, apparently. And I felt for years I was the only one who had this, who was going through this. You don't know how much I've been struggling over the years since I was in grade 2. Now I'm 31 years old. And yeah, I can't even enjoy outing. When I was last visited my mom in Aurelia, Ontario. You know, I couldn't even get out the door at one point without feeling the need to be sick. And that was like 30 minutes, not even after I just had my breakfast. And I needed to be sick, and I did. Nothing came up in my stomach. You know? It was just gone. There's nothing in there. Because I believe that the leptin is too low, and it can't fully regulate to digest my food for a long period of time. However it works, I don't know, but I know it's...
You may now hang up to send your message. To review your message, press 2. To re-record your message, press 3. To set the sensitivity for this message, press 7.
You don't know how many others are affected, but I can't, like I said, I can't even enjoy an outing without having to feel like I can't make it out the door, or like maybe I can make it out the door, but like there was another time where me and my mom had gotten to the parking lot at Walmart, not even an hour later, and I got stuck inside the door, and it's like, is it lunchtime yet? Like, what time is it? It was only like 10:40 something. It wasn't even close to lunch. Like, it's ridiculous. And then it's sad. You know? And, you know, there's medication out there, and I can't access it. I can't have any medication to help that starvation and that constant feeling of needing to eat. You know, you don't know how much I struggle. And you don't know how bad it hurts. Because you don't seem to care. Right? And it's not only me. It's other people who have it. And, you know, you don't know how it affects people in the long run. But they can develop diabetes. They can develop cancer. You know, because they have to consume a large amount of food just to stay full. That's not good for their bodies. But, you know, they need to stay full. And you know, and you don't know what it's like to feel like so hungry that your brain, something in your brain is so low, chemical in your brain is so low, that it feels like it needs to eat junk food. So you pass by to Warren's and you order like 6 donuts or like a package of 20 Timbits because your brain feels like it needs it. Like, because something with that hormone in your brain, it relies on that. It relies on the fat to digest or something like that. It helps anyway. And if it's too low, then you need to consume more of something. You need to consume more food in order to stay full. Food in general, you know? And, you know, and as a prime minister, you know, if I was prime minister, I would never have treated anybody like that. Because I would expect that, you know, any prime minister or president or whoever is running a country, whether it's in the States or Syria or something, I would expect, you know, to at least care enough to help the people in that country. Whether it's in a certain part of the country or whatever, it doesn't matter. Because what matters is the citizens of Canada and the citizens of those countries, you know? you have said that things are gonna get done and they didn't. Like prices of houses. I think you said that they were gonna go down. The Bank of Canada's gonna raise interest rates. Well, why isn't our house prices going down then? Should be your job to get that under control and tell those idiots that are renting those houses to say, should be your job, tell them knock it off. Tell those landlords to just knock it off, you know? Like that's enough. Like you can't be like renting an apartment for like $300,000 or $400,000 like anymore, because nobody can afford that. Right? And you certainly...
You may now hang up to send your message. To review your message, press 2. To re-record your message, press 3. To set the sensitivity for this message, press 7. Your voicemail is now being sent.
One more freaking message to the Prime Minister.
You have reached the voicemail of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister welcomes the views
Sorry
of
if I'm going on a
Canadians
rant.
that are
My
important
bad.
to them. Unfortunately, it is not possible to put you in contact with an official at this time. However, you may wish to leave a message. Please be assured that we will give it our utmost attention. Vous avez joint la boîte vocale du Premier ministre. Le Premier ministre aime obtenir les commentaires des Canadiennes et des Canadiens sur les enjeux qui leur sont chers. Malheureusement,
In case anybody doesn't even know French, there you go. Like us, in Ontario. But it would be good for you guys in Quebec. So, anyways, again, sorry if I'm going on a rant. But I feel like this needs to be heard. And I feel like everything that you're doing right now is horrible, you know. Because like I said, about the eating disorder, there's lots of things that I want to discuss. There's lots of things I want to tell you. But, like I said, I don't know if it'll fucking matter or freaking matter at this point, because it doesn't matter what anybody else says. They've been on the news, you know, and you must have heard them. You've done nothing, right, about it to make people happy in North Bay and Barrie and Aurelia and that. But I just feel like I can't even enjoy outing with my parents and without a feeling of needing to eat something at some point. Because there's been times where I've been out with my dad in North Bay And I have been feeling sick to my stomach. There's sometimes where I had to tell my dad that we need to hurry up and go because I've been so sick. Right? I've been sick to my stomach because because something in my brain is not allowing my body to stay full. I believe that's a leptin because when I searched it up, that's what it said. And I need that medication to be covered so that I can live a healthy life. Like, you need to get your act in gear here. Like, this is not okay. This is serious. Because I'm not the only one who's struggling with this issue, but in case anybody else is afraid to speak up and tell you directly, I'm in it for them. I'm in it for you. I'm in it for the people that live, that can't, and that don't feel like that they're being heard, they're being, that they feel like they're the only person on the planet who has this issue. Because I felt that way myself for many, many, many years, ever since grade 2. And you don't know how that feeling is. It's horrible. I can't even enjoy an outing without feeling like I have to be sick. Because my body just can't stay full because of the leptin in my brain. So I need that medication to be covered so that I can at least live and be healthy. Doesn't matter what medication it is. I think all medication should be covered, no matter if it's for like arthritis, fibromyalgia, and other illnesses, every kind of illness on the planet. Because nobody deserves to be paying over $200 for a prescription pill. My dad can't afford it. He said I can't be on anything that can help my issue because he's not going to pay over $200. I personally can't blame him for doing that. Because right now, he can't even afford a house. And that's another thing that I wanted to talk to you about. Is the price of houses. Right? And the Bank of Canada taking the highest bidder. Like, that shouldn't happen. Like, if a house is...
You may now hang up to send your message. To review your message, press 2. To re-record your message, press 3. To set the sensitivity for this message, press 7. Your voicemail is now being sent.
It's horrible. Like, to any of you who struggle with the same similar issues, you're not alone, because I am with you on that one. I am totally with you. Whether it's genetic or whether you have kids, something in mother that happens, because that happens a lot when you have babies. I guess your leptin goes kind of cuckoo because of hormone in your brain. Leptin is a hormone in your brain, and of course, when you have kids, your hormones go cuckoo in your body. Having kids makes your body do funny things. But the sad thing is, though, I never have kids. I don't want kids. And I don't even know how that happened to me. But I was in grade 2 and it happened. I don't remember ever having that issue when I was in kindergarten or grade 1. Because I remember at one point I was very slim. And while, yeah, I was active as a kid, I was still struggling with that. My mom doesn't believe that because I never told her really when I was a kid, because I didn't understand what was going on with my own body, because I was autistic and I didn't really understand my own issues. I don't think I started to understand what was happening with my own body, and I don't think I could explain it in good detail until I was in my maybe early 20s and late 20s. That's when I started to realize and was able to tell what was happening within myself. I know it was a bit late, but it was better late than never. And there are many people like me who have autism and that I might be struggling with leptin, and there are many people, I know lots of people with leptin resistance is caused by overeating, people choosing to eat when it's not, like people that go into the restaurants and they choose to eat a lot because of whatever reason. That causes the brain to want to eat more. So it may cause the leptin in the brain to malfunction, to not function properly. Because it also, I'm guessing that can happen. But for me, I think mine is genetic. That can also be what it is. It can also be genetic. Because I can tell you, I never did anything. I was never pregnant with a kid. I was never eating myself to the point where I really left in my body malfunctioned. It wasn't something that I did. I don't believe so. And even if it was, it wouldn't be something that I was aware of at the time. And if I did, at least I would vaguely remember doing that, which I clearly don't recall ever overeating intentionally. So I think it's genetic for me, and that's the sad part, is that there are so many people out there that is genetic, and they don't know how it happened, they don't know how they got it, or people that do have kids and that have that problem, which I feel bad for them as well because they also need help. But I don't feel that people that choose to eat all the time, even when they're full, just because it's there, they eat it. And then they cause their brain to react that way. They cause the leptin in the brain to malfunction, and then it doesn't tell their body to stay full because their brain is constantly needing more and more and more to stay full. And then that can also be why that happens. I guess I have no sympathy for them people. I don't feel bad for them because it takes away from the people that have leptin resistance, that is, they didn't do anything to have that problem. And in my condition, I didn't do anything to have that problem, and neither does somebody who has kids. When a person gets a baby, of course their hormones in the brain go crazy, and hormones in the body and then the brain, and of course they're gonna have that problem, because you would think the baby would take away all the nutrients that the mother needs. So their leptin would get very low. Their brain will want to consume more because it had to consume more because of the growing human in there, right? So the brain is not going to get the same nutrients as if I would be, or I should be, as I'm not pregnant, or you, if not every one of you are not pregnant. So I shouldn't be having that problem. I should be able to digest my food from breakfast to lunch, and then maybe lunch to maybe a snack later in the day. From then maybe snack to supper, and then maybe a snack before bed at 8 or 9 o'clock. I can't do that. I can't do that. In order for me to do that, I need to consume a large amount of food, and that's not fair. That's not fair. You know? I'm never going to be okay with that. And I think the Prime Minister, Canada, needs to get a crack down on that, because that is serious. That is dead serious. And I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I struggled all day. Like, I couldn't even enjoy making a handmade card. A card from scratch for Easter for everybody. Because I was afraid. I was angry at the Prime Minister. I was afraid of what I could develop over time if I can't get the medication I need to be on. And so-and-so can't do that either. So I'm also not speaking up for myself. Yeah, I was mostly scared for myself. But I also want you to speak out about what you experience. Only then would that change it, you know? Don't be afraid to call the Prime Minister and say, hey, you know, you need to smarten up. Like, hold on a minute here. Are you kidding me? And don't be afraid to let him have it. But no death threats, because that want to get you in more trouble. But don't be afraid to just let him have it. You know? Without having to say that, oh, I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna rip your head off, or whatever, you know, don't say that, but just don't be afraid to just let him have it, have your experiences, have, you know, whatever you struggle with, let him hear your words. Otherwise, you know, only with your words can you change the world. You know? Because I don't think any Prime Minister or President or even a government leader in any country should be doing what he's doing. You know? The people matter in that country, and that's the way you should be. You're a Prime Minister, you're President, you're supposed to be there for the people in that particular country. And if you take away their medication, that it's like, what else could he take away? I don't even want to know. Because like I said, I'm on antipsychotic medication. And let me tell you, like I said to him, if he can take away medication like Ozempic and all of that helps with people's appetite, who knows what he's going to take away on you, you know? And that's what scares me, because I need to be on Abilify and Zoloft, and for that, and I can't afford to have those not covered. I can't afford that, because I can only imagine that would not be just over $100 or $200. that'll be over $1,000 to pay for that. Because those are antipsychotic medications we're talking about. Those are not medications to help with that appetite, which is bad enough. But these medications are to help with people's daily lives. Whether it's, I don't care whether it's a medication that costs over $200 or not. I believe that no matter, I do believe that he had some say in it, because he makes the rules, he makes everything. So I just don't believe that Doug Ford would have any say in that. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But whatever, whoever it is, their Prime Minister needs to be like, you know what? Pipe down a little bit. Hold on here. What's going on here? You know? He needs to really, like, care about the people in Canada instead of only caring about himself. Right? He needs to worry about the people that can't even put food on the table. Instead of only caring about, you know, the fact that he can order pizza, he can order a gourmet meal, he can probably get a meal from Chef Ramsay and have it delivered to his door in a day. Who knows? He's Prime Minister, for crying out loud. You know? But he should, but, look, I know lots of people would think I'm nuts, that I shouldn't be doing this. But he's Prime Minister. But he's not any different than, you know, any other person who treats somebody horribly. I will stick up for what's wrong. And I will stand up for what's wrong. I will stand up to wrongdoing, and I feel it's wrong. So it doesn't matter whether you're a person on the street or whether you're Prime Minister. Doesn't matter. You know? You're still a person, and you still show a lack of kindness towards other people. And it doesn't matter. I will always stand up for the people who, you know, are struggling in that, because I want to be that person. I want to be a good influence. I don't want to be, you know, some person who sits here and lets people do things like that. You know? It's not like you're talking to God here. It's not like, you know, you're a psychopath and you have to face off the God and then he banishes you. No, that's not the way that Canada is. And, you know, Justin Trudeau can try to punish people all he wants, you know, but he's not God, you know. And I do believe that, you know, lots of people are like, Lee, that's not a good idea. But I'm willing to take that risk. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm Canadian. And I deserve to have the same respect, and the same kindness, and the same amount of fairness as you, or Justin Trudeau, or a CEO of a company, or just some average Joe on the street. You know? We are all important. We are all, you know, and we shouldn't be treating our own country like shit. You know? If somebody's struggling for help, we should provide that. And Prime Minister or not, he should be held to accountable. He shouldn't be able to even be Prime Minister again if he's going to be doing that. Because that is serious. Because I could develop issues in the future. I could be diabetic. I can be cancer. You don't know.